Are we live? I think we're live. As you can see, my background's a little bit different today because we have moved house. So chaos is around us here, everywhere. Stuff everywhere. But it's good. It means we're moving on to bigger and better things. Happy Friday, everyone. Thanks for joining me. I've just had the most amazing morning at a business networking meeting with a whole lot of other women in all different industries, and it was run by a group member, a gut health recovery group member, Mira. So anybody who is interested in women in business and supporting somebody or having a place for you to be supported, jump on and connect with her because she runs an amazing event. And I was so inspired afterwards and have had so many deep conversations. I wanted to talk about one of the conversations I had today and a question that I got today face to face. And that question was, who do you believe when there is so much nutrition information out there on any aspect of nutrition? And I guess the question was also around, how do I feel or how do I manage when there are people who have done short courses in nutrition and then they are spruiking a lot of nutrition knowledge, particularly online as an online platform. How do I manage that? And how do I guess, feel about that? So it's just something that's always there. It's always in the background. It's something that we get spoken to about at uni. And to be honest, I don't like really the way that we are taught to handle it at uni. I like to see it as an opportunity to help people understand a little bit more about what the health and wellness industry is about and how we can will empower the individual to find out more. So I always, any information I receive, anything I read, anything I hear, anytime someone comes to me and says, they say, or I was told to, my first question is, who's they? Who has told you this? Where has that information come from? And you can do the same thing. So if you are interested in a topic, or if somebody says to you, you shouldn't eat Brussels sprouts because they're not good for your gut, ask why. Find out why. Where did you get that information? Who said that? And keep going and keep asking questions, because it's about lifting the knowledge as a collective and helping people understand things as a collective. The other thing that I want to say on that, and sorry if you can hear whippersnippers and grinders and all sorts of tools going in the background where there's a bit of work happening here. The other thing that I wanted to say on that is I have had clients this week and other weeks where they've come in with friends or family members into a consultation, and they have been pushing what their idea of health is onto the person that is there to see me. And it often comes with a lot of judgment. So if anyone, hands up, if anyone has ever felt judged by eating a piece of cake while you're out, or somebody running into somebody at the supermarket and them looking in your trolley and thinking, wonder what why are you getting that stuff? Or I have 6 coffees a day. And then if you've ever felt judged by a food choice that you have made, let me know. Pop a note in the comments and let me know if you do that to other people too, because often if we don't have a reference point to realize that we are being judged, then we're probably not judging other people. But if you can recognize that you are being judged, have a look at where else in your life you might be judging other people, because if you're aware of it happening to you, we are potentially all reflections of our outside world. And it has to start with you. So if you're worried about what somebody thinks about you or what your choices you're making, are you judging yourself? Are you judging somebody else for the choices they are making in their life? And start by thinking about, with you, number one, being kind to yourself. Everybody's doing the best they can with the resources they have available to them at the time. And number two, stop the judgment. Once you're aware, you can catch yourself out. This conversation that I had with this lovely lady that I met today led on to a lot about body image and where they had come from, and now what she had learned and witnessed growing up, and the body image and the relationship with her, with food and her body growing up, to now having daughters and worrying about the relationship that she is having with food and her body, and how she may or may not be projecting that onto her kids. And I think it's often, I guess it's something that we all kind of are aware of, but it's not often spoken about, and it is so unconscious. So people don't realize that the interactions that they had growing up automatically have an effect on things going forward. So you've created certain deletions and distortions and generalizations with the way that you view the world and the way you see things. They will run you unconsciously and you won't even know it. So I've had people say to me in the past, oh, I'm worried that my child's eating too much and they're not doing enough. So I think maybe we need to cut out something. That is fear-based, that with society, the thin ideal and the body image that we have, if you eat too much, you put on weight. That's not a good thing. There's that, and that's not something that, it may not be a vanity thing. It might be coming from a place of care, which I believe it truly is. But the idea is that food will make us, insert here, fat, sick, if we choose the wrong one. And there's so much fear around choosing the wrong food that we then start to think in this scarcity mindset that I need to be careful about what I'm having. I need to be careful about what I'm doing. Food nourishes us. Without food, we can't function. And health is a spectrum. I think I've put a quote up in the past in groups and on Instagram. Health is a spectrum, and it's a journey. It's not you're either healthy or you're not. We're not one or the other. It is literally a spectrum. So if you're thinking, oh, I've been bad today, I've eaten really poorly, does that mean that you're unhealthy? I'm going to say no. And that's where you need to stop judging. So if you're thinking that, oh, it's been a really tough month and I haven't had much time to prepare food, that's where you can start to be kind to yourself. I know where I want to be and I'm not there. What can I do? What little steps can I make to change that? Can I don't know, grab an extra salad at the supermarket and make sure that I do that every day in the lunch so that I'm getting my veggie intake? Not so that I'm going to feel healthier, because that won't last. If that's not ingrained in you, that goal and that value and that behavior change won't last if it's not for the right reason. It's got to be for you. It's got to be completely congruent for you. I just think I've got a question here on Facebook. No. So yeah, I guess the other part of that question that I got today was around how do I manage with it? The next thing is explaining to people and removing the guilt and the shame around food choices and what we do each day and how much we look after ourselves. Would you judge someone if they were putting, expensive premium petrol versus not premium petrol in their car? Probably not. It's not. Maybe if you're my mechanic might, but probably not. Generally, no. Thinking of it like that, are you fed? Are you doing the best that you can? And if you're not, what resources do you need to pull on to try and do better for yourself? Are you ready for that? If you're not ready, that's okay too. Just having an idea about where you want to go and taking the small day-to-day steps to get you there, goals, like I've spoken about many times in these groups, that is the best that you can do. And if you know that you're doing that, try to catch yourself out when you notice that feeling of guilt and shame, particularly around food choices, because it's not going to drive better food choices. It will often only drive you further and further into the ground, worrying about what you're doing to yourself and your family, and that you can't care for anyone if you're not caring for yourself mentally first. I'm going to leave it there. Happy Friday, everyone. Bye.